I am Easton Greene from Eisenhower, and this is my impromptu round 1. I am speaker 1. I start my time now. There's a quote floating around in my head that goes along the lines of, it's not about wishing for sunshine, but it's about learning to be happy and dance in the rain. What this quote means to me is that there's a lot of things you can't change. You can't change the weather, but what you do have control over is how you embrace things, and you have control over how you embrace that rain. My speech is on the topic of weather. In my speech, I will be talking about what weather is, what weather represents, and a personal example of what it represents to me. When somebody thinks of weather, it's obviously just, ooh, sunny, cloudy, rainy, just things we went over in kindergarten. As per pretty much everything in life, you can interpret things in different ways. And one interesting fact about weather that I like is there's nothing we can do about it. Weather is something that is just thrown into our life, and we have to deal with it, whether it be snow days or ice on the roads or it being super hot. This leads into what I believe weather represents: embracing change, or being okay with this change. Being okay with change and embracing change is detrimental for our lives. A lot of things are out of our control. Everyday things are out of our control, like the weather. But it just boils down to how well you can adapt to those change and how well you can manage that change. If you live a lifestyle where you do the same thing every single day, and then all of a sudden it changes, and you don't know how to react to that, you're going to be lost. You won't know what to do. Whereas if you live a life with a lot of background and a lot of different aspects, when something changes, you'll say, hey, I've had a situation like this before. I know what to do. An example of a situation in my life where I've had to deal with change, something that was completely out of my control, was moving in my childhood. My family has moved a lot in my childhood because my father pursued a better career for himself and our family. I've moved around 5 times just off the top of my head. I'm not going to count each one. But 5 times is not an insane amount, but is quite surprising to some people. So I know a lot of my friends have been born here and they've lived here for their whole life. So they don't know what moving would be like. But I do, and I've had to deal with that. And the difficult part about it is you're going to somewhere you've never been before. You don't know what's there, you don't know the people there, and you're just like baby birds. You're pushed out of the nest, and either you fly or you hit the ground and die. It's a little morbid, but I believe it summarizes it very well. When I moved here about 3 years ago, I'd say, and here is Yakima. I moved here about 3 years ago. I was lucky enough to be put into a program at school where it was easy for me to make a lot of friends. But if someone was not put in this program, if they didn't know how to accept this change, if they couldn't put themselves out there, then life would not have been very fun for them. So to summarize, my speech was on weather. Weather is something that influences our everyday life. It's sunny, windy, rainy, but what's most important about it is we can't change it. Weather represents a non-negotiable in our life. We can't decide what the weather is. So we have to do the best with what we have. Just like my example of moving. Thank you.